Claude Biver, the rock star in the Swiss watch industry, has recently stepped back, but not away, from his executive role at Tag Heuer and LVMH watches. He's here today to talk about reflection, stewardship, and mentorship. Jean-Claude, thank you so much for joining us. So let me start asking you, you recently stepped back from your executive function. What that process of stepping back taught you?
It was an accident. It was not made on purpose. And it was not my will. It was against my will. I wanted to be highly active till I die. And eventually, if I would survive my 80 years, I would then, at 80, try to retire. That was my dream. So dream number one, I want to die while I work. Like this, I don't see myself dying. If I sit in my office and suddenly I die, that is the dream. To be absent the day you die. I'm not there. The die comes, I'm not here. Boom, and he takes me. Then, after 80, I would have said, okay, I have survived 80, now slow down. So why did I slow down when I'm 70? What happened? It happened that my body refused to serve. So the body has always been the most faithful companion that I had. He did anything. He was able, 24-hour no sleep, he was able to drink 2 bottles of red wine and run the New York Marathon the other morning. I mean, this guy was incredible. Because he was incredible, because he served so well, I have forgotten to respect him. Because I thought it's normal that he gets up, you know, like my old Volkswagen. You always go and the car starts. So suddenly he said stop. So I was ill. And while being at hospital, I realized that maybe my partner, the boss, the car, has to be respected. And I had to listen. And I realized that maybe I have 3 periods in my life. I have the first period that I would call the learning period. 20 years you learn. And then 20 years you do. And then 20 years you give back. So I said, if that's the case, now I'm 70, I have maybe 20 years to give back. And if I give back, my life suddenly gets to another level and becomes more meaningful. Because if my life is meaningful only for me, for my achievement, for my ego, for my success, useless. You only make use of your life if it is on a larger scale, if some people can get also advantage. And if you share, you must share your visions, you must share your experience, you must share your doubts, you must share your success, you must share your failures. And then your life makes another sense. Because if you live for your own victories, for your own successes, then you live like an egoist and you help nobody. We are a chain and everybody must connect to the chain, and the connection is done by what you give back, not what you do. And the more you do, the more you have to give back. So I had 40 great years. As I said, 20 to learn, 20 to make. Now I have 20 to give back. So that decision, intellectually, I was pleased with it. Philosophically, I was also pleased. And practically, I find it not difficult because these 18 months being ill helped me to reduce speed. Mm-hmm. If I would have to stop from one day to the other one, like some people, they retire when they are 70, boom, and then there is a black hole. What shall I do? Because they are not used to it. They are not prepared to it. I have been prepared thanks to the fact that I was ill. And now, if I look back to my short life, I would say one of the best things that has happened to me, that I was ill. Because if I wouldn't have been ill, I would have gone on like a crazy lunatic. I would have forgotten to give back, and my life would have been only important to me. My life to me should not be important. It should be important to what I give back to others.
And I think what you're describing, a lot of executives also live in that treadmill, working very hard. And it's very hard to find the time for reflection. In your case, you had this forced time for reflection. Which advice would you give to leaders in terms of how do they bring reflection to their day-to-day so they can also kind of wonder about the future contribution, the legacy?
Yes, they should disconnect from themselves. When you are constantly concerned about you, me, what I do, then you live in a kind of system where you're not open. You're not open to give back. So we have to learn generosity. We have to learn that we belong to a community and that we have a role in this community. It's to connect to others. We are here also to help. And this is how culture, literature, knowledge has developed. Knowledge has developed because we gave back. If scientists wouldn't give back and keep all their innovations just for themselves, it would help nobody. So when you realize this, you realize your role. Not only I have to invent, but I also have to give back.
So you talk about scientists and invention, and I mean in the past you talked a lot about the importance of understanding, learning arts. You talked about understanding love, and I was wondering about the importance of this type of education in the world of artificial intelligence. What is human? What is going to be artificial intelligence in your view?
You know, the artificial intelligence is fantastic, but it will never have intuition and instinct. Instinct and intuition is superior to intelligence, to artificial intelligence. What else? The soul. In artificial intelligence, there's no soul. And number 4, where is love? Artificial intelligence cannot express love. So, as a human being, we have the instinct, we have the intuition, we have the soul, and we have love. That is an asset that nobody can ever take from us. That for those 4 elements, we are superior to any machine. And there is a huge future. We must cultivate these 4 assets in order to beat artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence should not be a threat. It should become a help. And in order not to be a threat, we must develop the properties where artificial intelligence cannot come. And I'm always amazed how much young students have lost instinct and have lost intuition because everything they want to check by technocracy. But instinct will always be superior to technocracy. So if you master technocracy, plus you have kept your instinct, plus you have kept your intuition, wow, then you are superior to all the others who only have technocracy. Because at a certain moment, everybody can get the same technocracy. Everybody can use the same technocracy. But not everybody can make the same intuitive projections or instinctive ideas, so that the human being will be re-evaluated thanks to artificial intelligence.
And how do you think business schools like INSEAD can teach our students, our participants on those?
As I said before, we should teach art. Why do you have to go to Beaux-Arts to teach art? We should teach art. And what is art? Art is love. So we should teach love. So I believe we need, in our future artificial intelligence, we need to develop love. We need also to develop the instinct, as I said before, the intuition. And we need pragmatic thinking. Because very often, when you are prisoner of technocracy, you lose pragmatism. And I had a teacher who said to me one day, when you have a difficult problem, you can only solve it with a simple answer. But tendency of people, when the problem is very complex, they will bring a complex solution. And it will never work. The more the problem is complex, the more you must look for a simple solution. And once you have found the simple solution of this complex problem, then you know the solution will last. So all these little things we have to teach. And there is no doubt the teaching will be different because we have no other solution. We have to teach love, we have to teach instinct, we have to teach art, and it's necessary.
A lot of people talk about the role of business as a force for good. How not only you individually, but business can be that force for good. I mean, do you see potential ways that kind of how business can help those causes that you're talking about?
Yes, business can help. I have no doubt. Everybody should be more bio-orientated, nature-orientated. It's the top management that must be influencer. It's like if you want your company to be innovative. Innovation is not that you have an R&D department who invents. Yes, of course, but it's much more than that. The innovation must be everywhere. It must be from the receptionist who tells you one day, hey, I have an idea. This is how we should handle, blah, blah, blah. Innovation must be everywhere. But how do you make innovation to be everywhere and not only in the R&D department? By the boss. Because the boss is like the rain. The rain comes from the top and goes down to earth. And the same, if the boss has inspiration, ecological and protection of nature, then it will go down. So it's the responsibility of the leaders.
Thank you very much, Jean-Claude.
Thank you.